Car's lifting on the dyno, and then I'm going to flick this button up and hold on.
Bare flame coming out of that fucker.
Did you say bare flame?
Bare flame, I said.
My G.
Da 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 da. It's the one and only Digo Double G.
Snoop Dogg.
Da 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 da. You know I'm mobbing with the D.R.E.
Yeah. You know the West Coast is back for all you suckers. So put something in there. Put it in there. Yeah.
So we're just banging the old 335i on the dyno to make sure it's all good. Doc V Tuning has done me a map, so we've got to do data logs to make sure everything's all good. And then, yeah, do a couple of pulls, make sure we set up the N20 map sensor properly. So Drew's going to drive it onto the dyno in a minute, I think. What, dyno man?
One of my little pleasures. Hang on, did we check it's all clear?
Yeah, oh look, dent in the bonnet. Duct tape, buff out. So the car's all strapped on. I want to know what boost it's running on this map. It's a bit in pieces at the moment. We're just going to take a log now from 3,000 to 6,000 RPM and send it over, so I'll get that done. So it's all centered now and everything, so it's all strapped down. We've just done a little pull on it just to make sure. I'm actually going to set it back to standard and see what power it makes as a standard car, and then we're going to put the MHD 2 Plus on it and see what it makes. Right. So we've just done a run, we've sent a map off, we're going to put it back to stock, flash back to stock. So we want to tune it, we want to flash an MHD map, we want to go version 10 maps, manual transmission, 2 Plus, what one do we want to go for?
95.
95 octane, contacting DME.
Was that stage 2?
No, that was, this 400 horsepower, 700 newton meters, actually was on JB4.
What, similar thing?
Just their second map. Map 2 was 400 horsepower.
From them?
From them.
Stage 2 from
out the fucking
we're
box.
Gonna do stage 2 in MHD.
Cats, everything. It had cats,
Cats?
in it. Yeah, it had cats in it, the lot.
So we're now, which you're not supposed to do on it, you're supposed to do the downpipe, aren't you?
Yeah, I know. But this has now got downpipe, hybrid turbos.
So we're going to compare the JB4 stage 2 to the MHD stage 2.
If it don't blow up.
With now decats is the only difference.
So what do we want to do then?
Interesting.
Map sensor, 3.5 bar, coolant range track. We don't need that. We don't. Is that it? Yeah. Throttle lag, no lag. Aftermarket exhaust. Do you want exhaust burble?
Just for this tune. We're going to take it off anyway, isn't it?
Long right.
Aren't we?
Yeah.
So you sent the email off then to the guy?
To Doc V Tuning. I originally paid for the tune about 7 months ago, and obviously we weren't set up, we had no dyno, I couldn't really drive it on the road as such. I just noticed all the cleaning stuff's in the back and there's tyres still. Yeah. I love the seat. We need another seat for the other side. So we've got 10 seconds left of flashing. I'm waiting for my McDonald's. Sergi's just turned up, he's over there behind the GTR, and we're going to see what this car makes on the 95 octane version 10 map at 102 RON. So we'll see, restarting DME, it just clicked, clearing all the codes, turn off engine and wait 30 seconds. We're actually really looking forward to making some decent content for you guys. And I think incorporating YouTube into this business is going to be good, because then I can show customers what we do when we film their cars, everything's documented, everyone's happy. Nearly fucking dropped the phone up the floor. Right, I think we're ready. Let's get this going. We can send it back.
So we all done, are we? Okay. Yeah. Who washed this last?
Done a pull on the MHD Stage 2 Plus map, and it was about 1.2, 1.3 bar across here. Spiked here to 1.3 and it went just under. And it made 439 horsepower and 636 newton meters. So it's what, 374 wheel horsepower, 541 wheel torque, which is quite good, I think, for 1.2 bar. That's after we put the boost pipe back on. Turn the ignition off for 30 seconds, like it said. I mean, I'm not expecting to make any power now. Literally now, just gonna take a data log, send the data log off to the tuner, and then they can send back a file, and then we can go from there really, and hopefully it's a bit more healthier and a bit more power. Just getting in the car. Steering wheel's nice and pissed. I'm gonna leave the battery charger on it for now, because I want to make sure that everything's all good. Hold on, just got to start the car. Right, so car's started. Now what we're gonna do is, this is the controls for the dyno, so it's got enough heat in the oil. So I'm going to switch the fan on. I'm going to do the window up. Right, so the window's up, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the car into the gear that we want it at. In my case, I want it in third. It's a bit rumbly because the tyres are a bit shit. But what I want to do is, I want to check. I want to take the 3,500 like that, and then when I get it to 3,500, I want to grab it so that the speed on now, which is right there, matches the speed there. And now I've got that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow the car down and I'm going to hold it to 1,500 RPM. I'm going to give it full throttle. Car's lifting on the dyno, and then I'm going to flick this button up and hold on. And that is what the login file is going to be. And that just made 465 horsepower. And I cut it short as well. So I've got the car off the dyno now with the map from America. We've made 465 horsepower so far, which isn't bad for a base map. And that's running the 1.3 bar. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they send us back. Hopefully we can get close to 500, 550 maybe. We'll see. I mean, I would like at least 550, but I'll settle for anything. Thank you for subscribing and following, and I hope you're enjoying our journey. We've got another GTR in here now. This one here is in for a check over, and also we've got to do turbo change. So the engine's got to come out, which is going to be quite exciting. That one over there, we're still waiting for bits and bobs to come for the gearbox, so then we can get that gearbox done. This BMW came in for a wire install, but we wanted to check it over because we wanted to use all the standard lumen stuff, and it was just going to look messy. It's got a 3-litre E46 engine in it. He wanted all the E46 dash to work. We quoted him up, but he hasn't got the money for it, so that can go. You can't be doing people favours. Favours don't make you money at the end of the day, and we've all learned from those mistakes. So that's going to go. We've got a BMW E36 in today with a M50 with a stroker kit. I believe it's a 2.9. It's a drift car from the Vol race, which is what I want to do next year. Andrew's over there eating his sandwich. He's had the car all livered up. He's had his M4 all done. Let's get on to this beast. This beast is a standard drift car, basically. Like, this is what we see in England all the time. Used to see in England all the time. These used to be pennies. Now they're like 3-4 grand. By the time this video comes out, they're probably 10 grand. But we'll have a look in the engine bay in a minute. It's a normal basic setup. It does really well. Jeff, you all right, mate? Jeff's loving life. This has got a plug and play Link X ECU in. It's actually the first X that I'm touching, so we're gonna have a look over it, see how much power it makes. It's running 0.6 bar at the moment. We're gonna try and get it up to a bar.
We're going to get this customer's car now.
Bit rich on start up.
How the fuck do you drive?
I don't know.
This is too far away from me.
You don't understand. You'll understand when you start drifting one day.
You can't reach the pedal.
You do it with your toes, Bert.
Mate, I'm on my toes. I'm fully depressed. Look at my leg.
I'm fully depressed working with you, you prick. That is a hydraulic handbrake. That's homemade. How much lock's it got? Ah, that's cack. It's gonna scrub like fuck on the dyno. Might have to raise it. Gotta move all this GTR stuff in a bit. Left hand down. Straight. That's it, we're on. Roll it out. Looks pretty central to me. Perfect, Bert. Let's have a look at the AFR. Yeah, that's fine. Turn her off then.
It's a drift slag.
It's a drift slag, mate.
This handbrake's It's been on the dyno, so this setup, I'm not sure.
Well,
I don't think he really gives
I
a
was-
shit about rubbish, because as you can see, this was obviously scraping, and a slight adjustment has been done.
No, they cut that. They cut that and bend it to make it look good.
He's sledgehammered. Right.
I've tuned one of Edu's cars before. He had a 200 SX, and the 200 SX had an RB25 in it, and we tuned it, and we tuned it on the road actually. Literally done a drift event the next day, and just had it all day long. And I was like this all day, but it was fun. Oh, what's this? We've got a box here. What's in this box? New wideband sensor, direct from China. Whoa, I nearly dropped it. It's not even got a Bosch written on it. What's up with you? What's that you got? What's wrong?
These are instructions. They look very overcomplicated instructions.
So what does that
Do you know how
mean?
these go? So what you got then, mate? You
We-
got the base, isn't it?
We don't read instructions, do you?
Oh yes, you must read instructions. Yeah. Yeah, their instructions are very important, and I strongly advise anyone doing anything, especially IKEA, because if you take your eye off for just a moment and think, no, I've got this, that's when it gets you.
Yeah, last IKEA bit I
Can
did.
your
I got smashed
autistic
up.
mind make any sense of that?
Autistic. Hold on.
Done?
Yep, done. It means that you can do it on your own, bitch. I'm going to open up the bonnet of this and have a look inside. Let's see what we've got to work with, shall we? Oh, yeah, boy. Look at that inlet. It's fucking huge. It's got no bonnet prop. Hopefully we can get one of these on. But, can you hold the camera and hold the bonnet?
See what you think about this then.
It's warm. No, it's not got any of these on.
Was it not on properly?
It wasn't on at all. On the other side of the wall would do.
That's a repair. Oh, that wasn't on at all.
Oh, good, it stays there. So, let's have a look at what he's got. He's got the state-of-the-art HKS air filter with no filter on it. What? It's Air Nix. Wastegate is a tile blow-off, and it looks like a 38mm straight to the moon with a bit of filing cabinet as a bracket. Oh my god, quality is madness. HKS dump valve. Nice inlet, actually. I like that inlet. It's massive. Air temperature sensor. Where's the map sensor? Must be around here somewhere. There's fucking so much shit. That goes down there. That goes around there. This is obviously a breather. What else have we got? Well, looks like a car that actually might make some power. Bit of a lash job, but seems to think it will work all right. I think we'll be okay. That's a bit loose, so I don't like that. We'll find out if that falls off at full boost. At least it's got the original plastics, standard rad. We'll do a power run first before we start playing with it so I can actually see what it's doing. Because as I said, it's been mapped by someone else before. So we've got some sort of base to look over and work off, I suppose. My new knock gear hasn't turned up yet, so I'm going to have to use my old Formula one, which consists of some headphones and this box and a knock sensor. So now I'm just going to quickly have a look where I can put this knock sensor where it's out the way and won't melt, and then we'll go from there. Oh my god, it's just started raining. I can't hear you. Yeah. Wow. Monsoon. That's a lot of rain. Hot as anything earlier. So the BMW, I don't know if you can hear me, but the BMW's got fuel leaks, so I'm just sorting that out now. Just going over a couple of things before we run it. I did a little load pour on it just to see if there was anything up. So now I'm just removing the fuel rail and making it better. Oh my, there's no point recording. Sorry guys. So what Andy's doing here, go on then. So Andy's getting it into third gear so that we can put some load on it. Right. Now we're going to look at the leak. See the fuel? Yeah. So what it's doing is it's blowing past the seals and it's throwing the fuel out. I'll show you one more time. Go on and again. So that's one issue we've got to sort out before we even tune it. Turn her off. Nice, rather that than going up in a ball of flames.
Yeah, because you want flames that way, not this way.
Do it a favour, poor bastard.
Yeah, I don't tell about it.
It's like that Ted meme.
Ted! I'm alive, Johnny!
Oh my god!
I'm alive! Your magic always worked!
You're back!
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you sewed me up, you put some of the stuffing in the wrong places, so I'm a little fucked up. But will you take care of me forever and ever? Nah, I'm just kidding you. I thought it'd be funny if you thought I was fucking retarded.
You asshole!
We have to shut the bonnet when we do it because this is going to be pure bare flame coming out of that fucker.
Did you say bare flame?
Bare flame, I said.
My G, you're learning.
Toy. No, we're getting this right. Top Boy, not Toy Boy.
You've been watching Top Boy.
Top Boy Summer House. Man learning how to speak in it.
Man learning how to speak street,
I
innit?
did that. Man.
Right, yeah, so let's take all the fucking fuel rail off then. So we got the fuel leak done. I put a couple of washers under here and another nut under here. For the meantime, we need to get some spacers made. But apart from there, it doesn't seem to be leaking. I just need to stop that one there leaking on the end. And then once we've got it, then it's all good. Great success. We stopped the fuel leak. We had to put a couple of spacers underneath the fuel rail, but we sorted another leak out here because this was leaking.
Oh, I've just seen that bracket.
What bracket? Looks like it's come off a filing cabinet.
That's quality.
Right, we're going to take the coil packs out now, and we're going to check the plug gaps.
I'll find those feeler gauges.
Oh yes, I need some feeler gauges, please, because I don't want it to blow the spark out. So we're nearly there. A couple more checks. It does breathe quite heavy. I don't know if it's because they removed the PCV valve or if it's just straight through. We just need to double check that. After a bit of consideration, I've decided, after fixing all the issues, that I don't actually want to tune this car. And the reason being is because when it's warm, it smokes like fuck. And it breathes so heavy. We've changed the spark plugs because the spark plugs were cracked, and I thought maybe that might have been a reason. So instead of these BCPR 7ES, I've decided to put 8 EIXs in it. Gapped them all to 0.38, and yeah, it's not really changed. So we've done another compression test. I mean, the compression is low anyway because it's a stroker, which is fine. Low compression is not end of the world, but the leak down test is the one that told me that it wasn't correct. And unfortunately, where the map's really, really rich, I'll show you the base map, and it's had like fucking 3,000 miles of pure ragging on a base map done by another company, and I think it's just washed the balls basically, and it needs a rebuild, and I'm not willing to put my name to it. So yeah, I'm going to show you the map, but the customer's going to come get the car and decide what they want to do. They can even strip the motor out, bring it, and I'll rebuild it or whatever. But it's a shame because I was really psyched to tune it, and yeah, sucks. I know it's not really whatever, but it's so low horsepower, and I just wanted to make a difference on it and show him what he could have. That's what happens though, easy come, easy go. Like, it's one of those, like, I mean, we've recently opened, don't want a bad name already, don't want people to fucking say we can't tune shit, because at the end of the day, I've spent a lot of my time over the past years learning to tune in, getting everything correct, harnessing my skills as a tuner, learning new things. Broke the big fan out as well. We had a problem. Fucking kept on tripping the electric. Yeah, it's just a mess really. Like, hopefully we'll see it back later on in another video. So this is the graph. So it won't actually rev over 4,500 RPM. I've done a quick power run on it just to see just before, and this is when we found out it was chuffing. Obviously we was putting it under load to see when it hit boost. When we put it into load to create positive pressure, as soon as it hit positive pressure, it was just pissing fuel out the bottom of the injectors where the rail weren't on properly. But you can see he's been thoroughly ragging this car. I mean, it's only making 0.7, it's in 9s all the way. That's not good. I'd like to have at least seen it like 11.5-ish, or maybe 11s or 10s, like 10.7 or something, because obviously it's a drift car. You want a bit more fuel, it's ragged all the time. But 9's is just too much, and when it gets to about 4,500 RPM, it just completely suffocates it and just fucking smoke, whatever. It's just over fueling. So yeah, it's a shame, but we shall get there in the end, and he shall get there in the end, and he will be doing drift days, and we'll be doing drift days with him. We've worked with this guy for quite a long time. I've tuned a couple of cars for him in the past. Hey ho.
We're going to fire this whole steam train up.
Yeah, should we actually fire it up and show him how much it's chuffing? Oh, be true. Fired it up, as you can see, when you first start it, it's cool. Sounds lush, no chuffing, and then when it gets warm, see, now it's warm, it's starting to smoke like fuck. I don't look like a lot, but it's actually breathing quite heavy from here, even on idle. So, and that is why I'm not going to tune it. Goodbye, Smokey. See you later.
Da 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 da. It's the one and only Digo Double G.
Snoop Dogg.
Da 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 da. You know I'm mobbing with the D.R.